The Homerton Playscape Multiple Struggle Niche. The Homerton Playscape Multiple Struggle Niche is an ongoing public art project that takes the form of a free poster, a drawing, a projection, an idea. The project was commissioned by City Projects in Homerton, East London. Homerton lies at the fringes of a tide of regeneration currently transforming much of London's East End, and would appear to be next in line for a large injection of private and public investment, accelerated by the coming 2012 Olympics. Presented as a free poster, the project can be distributed locally and circulated internationally through various discursive networks and spaces of the creative industries. These include meetings, panels, think tanks, and presentations with curators, architects, designers, urban planners, and city officials. The project was made to inhabit a variety of public and private spaces, primarily as a discursive implement and a utopian tool, pinned to a bedroom or office wall, folded into a pocket, projected at a symposium, uploaded to a website, or sent as a JPEG via email, in order to develop a broader critical discussion around issues of culture and regeneration, the creative classes and gentrification, experimental city design, play, and local participatory action as a bottom-up strategy for urban renewal. The lens through which these issues are projected is the adventure playground and the ludic. Like the drawings, proposals and ideas of Cedric Price, Archigram, Constant, the Dutch meta-architect of the Situationist movement in France during the late 1950s, and other utopian protagonists, the Homerton Playscape Multiple Struggle Niche is a contradictory utopian project that takes the form of a piece of ephemera operating within heterogeneous public spaces. Thus it not only expands the idea of what the public realm means within the new order of the creative industries, the internet, the panel discussion, the street, a cultural space and symposium, but also gives the possibility of a more ephemeral public art project, one that does not necessarily have to plop itself on the plaza, nor pander to emerging property markets. As artists become increasingly inscribed within the strategies of property development and private-public regeneration strategies, public art projects that are non-conformist and that escape easy definition need to be developed in order to critically highlight the contradictions of neoliberal mechanisms and the restrictions that targets, results, product, outcomes, and footfall increasingly place upon public art projects, public institutions, and curators. Colin Ward describes the Adventure Playground as a self-regulatory model for community organisation, a parable in anarchy. This idea is explored further with the research he made together with Dennis Hardy into Plotlands, the small, informal, self-built workers' enclaves that appeared after the First World War at city edges and in some British seaside towns. A similar, more controversial model of experimental urban planning was non-plan, proposed by Rainer Banham, Paul Barker, Peter Hall and Cedric Price in the late 1960s, whereby areas of cities or towns would have their planning regulations and restrictions removed, creating unregulated zones. The Homerton Playscape Multiple Struggle Niche takes up these historical threads as a proposal and applies them to a park in East London, an underused windswept lawn with minimal landscaping and trees, a space that had originally been set aside for a future tube station. The proposal suggests the occupation of this area with an extension from a neighbouring adventure playground, eventually connecting the many derelict and asphalt-covered surplus spaces around the area in a matrix of local interconnected do-it-yourself playscapes, creating a makeshift, unregulated experiment in urban planning and architecture, with play at its centre.